This is Blitz, my 3-year-old Boston Terrier, and ever since that day I picked him up from the breeder in that parking lot, we've been inseparable. I still remember how hard the first year was for me as a single dog owner trying to deal with his severe separation anxiety. But the truth is, while all of that was going on, I ended up learning more about myself and my anxiety issues than I ever could have imagined.
What? I'm sorry. He's just social. There you go. Come on.
But to first understand that, this story needs to be brought back to when I was 20 years old. I was in my 3rd year at the U of A when I decided that school, for whatever reason, wasn't my thing, and I decided to drive 12 hours down to British Columbia and set up shop and become an artist.
Ha! Got you!
The problem was I didn't exactly have money, and I definitely didn't have any solid plans. So when I got there, all I could swing was a basement suite that was preoccupied by 2 other girls attending school. I couldn't pay for it, so I had to take on 2 jobs just to meet rent requirements, and it wasn't until I found streaming that I was really able to move out on my own.
There he is. You tired?
While streaming, I began to allow my anxiety to dictate more and more of my life. I stopped talking to everyone to the point where I would only speak to someone if it pertained to buying food. My apartment became a giant mess, and I stopped cleaning it altogether, and I had very little interaction with my family, if at all. I was extremely lonely.
Come here.
This also happened to be the height of my streaming career. While all of this was going on, I did have a friend attempt to come over and help me clean my house up a bit, and when she was over, she did mention that there was a man looking to get rid of one of his last puppies from the litter. Apparently, the puppy hadn't been adopted yet, and they were afraid that they were going to have to give it up to the SPCA. They suggested that perhaps having a dog around might force me to go out and meet people, or at the very least, help with the loneliness a bit. I thought about it, and I felt as though I was financially stable enough to handle a dog, so I agreed to take him in. My family has never owned a dog before, so I had no idea what to expect, but I told myself no matter what, I was going to love and take care of him. I knew the first time that I held him that I loved him. What I didn't know at the time was that he had been through some traumatic experiences which would later develop to a severe case of separation anxiety. The first year was difficult. I hated hearing his screams any time I would leave the room, let alone the house. I felt for him, and I wanted to make it better, not just temporarily, but for good. So together, we worked on it.
You know what it's like? It's like on the merry-go-round. He's going around.
Oh, don't hit me!
I read every book and every article I could find, and with a lot of patience, and now nearly 2.5 years later, I'm proud to say he's doing much better. But while he was learning, I also realized that I was learning too. Despite what he went through, he never blamed people. He is still to this day the most loving animal I know. He taught me that it isn't impossible to work on your anxieties and that moving forward is possible. He also definitely taught me that it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of love and support along the way. I love this dog more than words can describe, and I'm so glad that I picked him up from that parking lot that day.